Hey up, Jock! Today we're going to delve into the science of packing. We've been on the road since November 22 and we've not stayed anywhere for more than a month at a time. Sometimes it's a couple of days. It's pretty much been the same bag and the same clothes, so I've gotten pretty adept at packing them. We're going to boil down my methods and experiences into what I've dubbed the science of packing, which is basically just a fancy way of saying, in my experience, it's down to efficiency and effectiveness. Let's start unpacking, shall we? We're going to start off with the low-hanging fruit of efficiency. What efficiency in packing really boils down to is you being able to get more stuff into your bag or other receptacle, i.e. you're reducing airspace. A very popular method for this is using packing cubes. Before we left home, we bought some, we tried them out, and we ended up returning them. They just didn't work for us, and the reason for that is they didn't fit well into our suitcases. So a key line here is whatever you use to reduce that space has to fit into your case. One of the best things that you can do is use packing methods that make your clothes squish themselves into the right shapes. Something that we started using and still use is the army roll method for socks. The army roll method of packing, or equivalent, is where you get any item of clothing and roll it up tightly, but I've done it in such a way that you've got a little flap of that piece of clothing that then holds itself together. If you don't know it, start with socks. They are the easiest one to go for, and notice we still use the army roll method for socks. We don't use it for anything else. We do still roll other items of clothing up, but we wedge them into the suitcase and that holds it together. This fulfills the three big ticks, and those three big ticks are suits our container, suits us, and reduces space. Brilliant. The caveat that's an example of me not 100% practicing what I preach is I've got a couple of mini cases inside my big suitcase that take up space. They're not the best use of space, but they work for me, so they've got a big crayon tick in that regard. We've come to the end of my advice on efficiency, because you can pack as efficiently as you like, but the true issue comes down to weight. Even if you don't check in your bags, weight is being more stringently reviewed, and this is not just applicable for flying. We've been on a domestic flight in Australia where every person's carry-on was weighed, and we could moan about that. It's within the ticket T's and C's, it affects fuel economy, and it does affect the mechanical structure of the cabinets. It's fair enough. We were over and we had to pay at the gate. If you find yourself in the same situation, it doesn't matter how you speak to the person weighing your bags. Be polite, be understanding, apologise. Where they can, they might try to be kind. We actually brought a travel weighing scale with us, which was a worthy use of our kilos. It's not 100% accurate, but it gives us a good rough estimate. We aim to pack slightly under the limit and measure thrice just to get the average, and then haven't had an issue when we checked in. This segues us into effectiveness, thinking about what you actually pack in the first place. I'm assuming you're starting your journey at minimum and then you'll get to the maximum after you've bought all your tourist tabs. At the beginning, you need to be considering multi-use items or thinking laterally about things. We, for example, have solid shampoo and solid deodorant. When you hear the words liquid and travelling, you probably think, oh no, 100ml, I need to really cut down on my liquids. Or maybe you think airports are getting more high-tech, therefore it doesn't matter so much what I'm packing. Both of those are right. You need to be aware of where you're going from and where you're coming into. London, for example, has invested in some new security scanners and is therefore relaxing the 100ml rule, but other places around the world have not done the same. They're not as comfortable doing that. So you could be fine going away, but coming back it may be an issue. The beauty of solids is not just that you're avoiding the liquids issue, you're probably also saving weight on packaging because again you're not lugging around the extra water volume. So regardless of the airport security scanner issue, I would still avoid liquids where possible. An irritating question is whether you should bring a reusable water bottle. I actually bought a glass one in Australia and I absolutely love it, but thinking practically, if I've got a carry-on limit of 7 kilos and it's half a kilo, it's a good chunk of that. Also, the next places that we'll be travelling to don't have safe tap water, so we'll need to buy bottled water anyway. You do want to avoid plastic usage and extra consumption, but you also need to consider where you're going and the practicality behind packing. For the most part, it's probably better to underpack than overpack. I regret the things that I did bring more than the things that I didn't. I've just forgotten about them. And if I regret it to that extent, I've replaced it. There are some cases where I did replace it and then regretted buying it because I spent that money and I'm now lugging it around. Now onto the tantalising world of souvenirs. It is really hard not buying something. What I want you to do is go, oh, that's lovely. I want to buy it, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to put it back down, step away from the tat, and then if I really, really want it, I will remember that I want it and come back for it. That is a lot easier said than done because most times you're in a place for a very short period of time, but it is a pretty good antidote to consumerism. What's more, putting this into practice will make you focus on the experiences you're having rather than the tats that you're collecting. That's something that the anonymous they say is going to make us happier. It's a win-win. You save your money, you buy happiness. Only you will know whether this advice is right for you. We're definitely overbuyers, so I'm speaking to you from a place of wasted funds and too much tact rather than innate wisdom. Those are your top tidbits from a traveling guru. You do get better at it. Don't blow all your funds and have a blast on your AFH. See you next week. There's actually no one surprised. I now need to go start packing again. Laundry management is a bit of a mare. Thankfully, ours is all freshly done. That's not a dirty sock, is it? Oh, seriously? Now I need to go find the dirty pant bag. I'm doing so well.